A 13-hour flight from Baku, we arrive in Montreal. For the first time since 2019, it's the Canadian Grand Prix. So Red Bull have won the last 5 races, and in total in 2022, Max Verstappen has won 5, Perez won 1 in Monaco, Leclerc only the 2 winners this year in Bahrain and Australia. It's round 9 of the season here before a 2-week break. The British Grand Prix at Silverstone backs to back with the Austrian Grand Prix at Spielberg, takes us to our second sprint event of the year and the halfway stage. France and Hungary then lead us in back-to-back for the summer break before a triple header, Belgium, Netherlands and Italy through the end of August and the first couple of weeks of September. Then a 2-week break before Singapore and Japan go back-to-back, 2 weeks, United States and Mexico, 2 weeks, Sao Paulo and Abu Dhabi rounds out the season on the 20th of November. In the Drivers' Championship with 5 victories this year, unsurprisingly Max Verstappen leads the way by 21 points to Sergio Perez. Charles Leclerc with double DNF in Spain and then again in Baku as well, sprinting 34 points back. George Russell only 51, he's entering the fray. Carlos Sainz to retirement as well for the 3rd time this season in Baku, puts him 5th. Lewis Hamilton 88 points back in 6th. Lando Norris just ahead of Valtteri Bottas by 10 points. Esteban Ocon and now Pierre Gasly breaks into the top 10 for the first time this season. On the second page, Fernando Alonso up to 11th. Kevin Magnussen has dropped down to 12th place. First time he's been at the top 10 all year long. He's equal on points with Daniel Ricciardo. Sebastian Vettel is in 14th place. Yuki Tsunoda in 15th. Alex Lynn and Lance Stroll as well as Zhou Guanyu still on the points at the early stages of the season. No points though for Mick Schumacher, Nico Hulkenberg or still Nicholas Latifi. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull lead the way now by 80 points to Scuderia Ferrari. Mercedes are in 3rd on 118 points back, so 161. Then it's McLaren versus Alpine for 4th. Alfa Romeo joining in the fight as well, so are Alfa Tauri, who are still on 27 points. Haas, Aston Martin level on points. Williams in 10th on 3 points. It's the 2022 Canadian Grand Prix, and this is your Grand Prix preview. Let's take a look around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Canada. A 2.7-mile circuit, 14 turns in total. A real challenge for the drivers in both wet and dry conditions. After 2 years away, it really is a fan favourite. Starting the lap through the last chicane, getting close to the World Champions. Open up the DRS and hurtle down towards turn 1. Top speed and over 8th gear as well. 280 odd kilometres an hour. Back onto the brakes into turn 1 and 2. 4th gear down to 2nd gear. 85 kilometres an hour through turn 2. 3 and 4 chicane as well. 4th gear about 190 kilometres an hour. When we take him through there, it drops downhill before we go around the casino at 5. 6 and 7 a quick flick as well. 3rd gear, then on the exit accelerate up. 4th gear 185 kilometres an hour. Back on the power, open up the DRS once again, reaching over 8th gear 305 kilometres an hour. Slap on the brakes at turn 8 and 9 as well. 4th gear 135 kilometres an hour. Build back up again towards the hairpin. 8th gear 300 kilometres an hour maximum before you'll hit the brakes hard all the way down. 2nd gear 80 kilometres an hour. Be careful not to lock up the rear tyres and have a spin around. Little kick here, that's turn 11. Little kick on the back straight, that's turn 12, where the 3rd DRS zone is as well. Back down towards the chicane in the Wall of Champions. 330 kilometres an hour, 8th gear. Slam on the brakes. Make sure you get into turn 13, 14 safely. 4th gear. Avoid the Wall of Champions in the exit. Then keep the car towards the right of the screen to get to the line first. And that is the lap of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Oh, it is hot, hot, hot as we get ready for the 2022 Canadian Grand Prix. For the first time since 2019, we are back on the Ile Notre Dame, a man-made island, for the 1967 Expo as well, and we can't wait to get started. First of all, if you wonder why the flags are billowing in the background, it's not new special effects. It's literally a little fan you can just see here that is literally keeping me alive. 34 degrees in the UK today as well, and when it's hot in the UK, it's hotter than anywhere. No clouds, baking hot sun right down, and guess where I am standing? In a garage convert in the commentary box area. It is baking in here as well. So if we are stuttering a bit this weekend and our word slur, it's heat stroke. So just to let you know. Hello everybody, welcome to the Grand Prix preview then. Practice due underway in around about 40 minutes time from now. We're here for a quick 10-minute build-up as well before we'll go off, come back on for practice as well. This is just a quick guide really to get you excited about what's been happening and to sum up everything that happened in the morning as well. Let's start off then with some of the drama that still raged on from Baku. Charles Leclerc and his engine giving up as well. Everybody thinking, oh, well, that's an automatic grid penalty. He's already used 3 power units this season after one of them let go in Barcelona. Now the second one he has let go. His first one was already race run. But now, Scuderia Ferrari on Wednesday put out, Charles' engine arrives at the factory tomorrow. An initial assessment should be completed by the evening. Hydraulic components of cars already been examined. A short-term fix is in place for Canada, while work is ongoing to fix the mid to long-term solutions. That's not good news either on the board. The update is as it stands, the engine is in Canada. It's looking like it could work, but the team and Charles Leclerc are currently umming and ahhing whether or not to take a new internal combustion engine, which will give him a 10-place grid penalty on Sunday for the Canadian Grand Prix. More vital points lost to Red Bull and Max Verstappen they do not want. So it's getting a little bit tense roundabout now as well. At the moment, Ferrari investigation confirmed Charles Leclerc's Baku power unit is beyond repair. One possible cause of the failure is it occurred as a consequence of the problem in Spain, so they are linked, the two. We are now working on countermeasures to strengthen the package, and the solution is under control. Leclerc, from Andrew Benson, this bit is, Leclerc says the team are still discussing whether he will need to take a grid penalty, the inevitable consequence of a new power unit for him in Canada this weekend. So that first engine, that did the first 4 races as well, up until I think just after Miami, before Barcelona. So that engine is here, and we'll wait to see whether or not that is the one where they're going to put in. That was a winning engine, so maybe it's not that bad to go back to an old engine at this stage of the season as well and try and keep those grid penalties later on in the year. We'll keep an eye out. Further down then as well, propulsing has been interesting as well. The FIA to tackle the propulsing issues as well on safety grounds. Now, Mercedes had enough of the propulsing and all the negative effects that it had on Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, especially last time out in Baku. Lewis getting out of the car, holding his back as well, and around about his coccyx area as well, were absolutely bruised and battered. Rumours were he's going to miss this Grand Prix. He has intense therapy on the back. He's here this weekend and he is going to race, which is great news. But Mercedes RCFA, look, we need to introduce a rule where all cars raise their ride height so it's fair for everybody, and that we stop this propulsing. Now that negatively impacts the likes of Red Bull and Ferrari, who have got their propulsing under control. They've done around the engineering factor of it all, and only some teams further back in the field haven't yet mastered it. So understandably, Red Bull and Ferrari saying, no, we're not changing the rules mid-season just because Mercedes got it wrong. That's not the spirit of Formula One. So now, the FIA, who didn't listen to Red Bull or Ferrari or even Mercedes, have introduced a new measure, not for the Canadian Grand Prix, mind. This is for the British Grand Prix onwards in a mid-season change rule. The FIA's governing body says it is taking steps on safety grounds to reduce the high-speed bouncing as well. This is now, it's issued a technical directive, which I've got here on my phone. And I shall tell you, the points are, 1, closer scrutineering of the planks and skids, both in terms of their design and the observed wear of that plank. So basically, if the ride height's too close to the floor and the bouncing up and down and propulsing, you'll get a penalty if it's wearing away certain bits of the floor. Second point, the definition of a metric based on the car vertical acceleration, so as it goes forward and not backwards, obviously. That will give a quantitative limit for acceptable level of vertical obstacles. So basically, as you go up and down, whether or not the car's bouncing, it's going to try and find the middle ground of how much it's bouncing across. If it's going up and down, it's going to try and find where it is in the middle and just stop it going through as well. So that's what's going to be measuring, the average of the two jumps as well as it goes through. That will be the exact mathematical formula for this metric is still being analysed by the FIA and the Formula One. Teams have been invited as well to contribute to the process. So basically, in short-term measures, there'll be a technical meeting tomorrow with all the drivers as well and the teams in order to discuss proposing as well. But basically, they're going to introduce a limit where across the free practice sessions on FP1 and FP2 and FP3, you'll measure exactly how much your car is bouncing, and you will set up for the middle amount of that. So basically, the FIA giving them a set rule of how to put your car suspension out as well. You can't go below this suspension. You can't go above it. You've got to stay at the centre, and hopefully it reduces the proportion manually. Everybody's quite happy with that because it's not going to affect setup that much compared to the everyone else's cars. It's going to help Mercedes a little bit, but it's also going to neuter them because it'll stop the proportion. That'll help them. It'll neuter them that their car will be slower because they'll have to have a higher ride height compared to that, say, of the Red Bull or the Ferrari. So Mercedes have sort of shot themselves in the foot as well with this proportion issue, turned around, gone to the FIA, said, well, I don't know what's going to happen, and they've shot them now. So that's it basically. It's a real own goal for Mercedes as well. Valtteri Bottas said in the press conference as well, this proportion is getting a bit much as well, bit problematic, he said as well. George Russell, FIA bouncing plan a sticker plaster, said Russell as well. So they're not happy either, Mercedes, and neither are most of the teams happy with exactly what these new proportioning rules are going to introduce. But we'll keep on that across the weekend. That's where it's really going to be key. Who knew? We get a new word every year. DAS as well, the pink Mercedes, and now it's proportioning, a new technical word every year to sort of drum up entertainment as well. George Russell actually said bigger conversations are definitely needed for moving forward about F1's new rules in the context of the new rules and the way they force cars to be run very stiff and close to the ground. Andrew Benson has said there is no obvious reason why the technical directive issue this week on bouncing will have a direct and immediate impact on improving the problems the teams have been having. It's more about working out how it can be controlled over the season. So that's all things there. Moving away from those proposing Ferrari errors as well, let's talk about some good news about the Australian Grand Prix. Many Australian fans here on the YouTube channel, I know that. Albert Park has kept the Grand Prix. They've batted away competition from that of Sydney, and the Australian Grand Prix will remain in Albert Park until 2035. They'll host the season opener in 2024 and 2025, and a third date somewhere around that decade as well, probably 2030, I'm hearing as well, to kick off a new decade. But he'll host the season opener 3 times again, and from next year, 2023, Formula 3 and Formula 2 will be racing there. So I'm going to be a very busy person that weekend as well, with some great food and running. Abby says, Joshua, have you gone insane with the F did you do with your hair? Look like a guy from the streets. It's the heat. It's the sweat. It's getting to me. The heat and hair does not go well. The humidity levels are high here in the UK, as I'm sure you might know. But yeah, the hair is all over the place, isn't it? It doesn't look so bad when we've got headphones on. But shorts as well. It's summer weather. But honestly, it's absolutely insanely hot right now. So I made a mistake going out yesterday. Couldn't shave because now I'll just look like I've got half sort of tan as well. It doesn't look good. So the hair is going to be dealt with soon. But yeah, it does look a bit ridiculous, doesn't it? Even I agree. But the hair will be sorted soon. It's because it's the humidity. You wash it in the morning and then you dry it, and then you blow dry it, and then you go out in the sun and it goes it's up as well. So yeah, sweat as well. Been a busy day. Anyway, moving further back towards the point here, let's talk about the weekend, because it may be hot and sunny here in the UK and 34 degrees over there in Montreal. Yesterday, they had a flooding as well. The track got absolutely flooded. Everyone had to seek shelter and safety as well. It was absolutely insane. There was a message sent out as well on the iFind alerts as well, saying inclement weather coming in, please seek shelter. It was that bad. And for free practice 1, we understand it's going to be dry, but that weather is due to return for free practice 2 later on tonight. I'm not going to be covering that one. Megan Birch is going to be commentating on free practice 2 tonight. I've got a prior engagement to get out that I couldn't get out of. I didn't want to get out of, so Megan will be back here for FP2. I'll be back for free practice 3 when it'll be dry, but qualifying is also going to be wet, so Megan doesn't get away with it completely. So I'll be doing a wet session for qualifying. Race day at the moment looks bone dry as well. Okay, let's give you the coverage details then for this weekend as well. And reminder, this is all British summertime, so it is a bit of a weird one. Free practice 1, that's underway at 6:50, so in about 20 minutes time. Session underway at 7, so you got half hour. Free practice 2, 9:50, session underway at 10. Megan Birch will commentate on that one with you as well. Free practice 3 is underway 5:50 British time, session underway at 6. Qualifying 8:45, green light on at 9. And the race on Sunday, Grand Prix Live, that's underway at 6:15, lights out at 7. Grand Prix review coming your way straight after at 9:30 as well. So there's your coverage times, all times British summer as well. Hello, Tom. How are you doing? As you can probably see by the hair, the humidity's got me, and I've got a fan on, but it's baking in here. Doors wide open, it's still hot. So, Tom, I have got your messages coming up next. I'm going to reply to you. Oh, it was really unfair, but my goodness, you look like you're having a bad time of it as well with the heat. Hopefully, everyone's staying cool and calm, enjoying the sun that has hit Europe as well, and hopefully you're having a lovely weekend to start off with. Some great F1 action back at the Ile Notre Dame at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve is coming up. 20 minutes time, we'll be on air. Thanks for your company. We'll see you later.